come into picture. And I think that's for the reason that some of the high net worth individuals, if the customer call goes, that's what happened with Sandeep. I told you that he had lost track of his investment, right? Mutual investment, and when he made a customer call, a relationship manager immediately called him. So that is the data exploration piece. And in purchases also, have you heard of a company called Target? Okay. Target, what it handled, it analyzed its purchase behavior of its customers in US for around 4 to 5 months. They found an interesting trend. Okay, they were able to analyze that there were some lifestyle changes happening with certain group of customers. Okay, they would be in different life stages. Okay, some people would be expecting mothers, some people would be entering into a marriage, right? So based on the purchase behavior, they're predicting what lifestyle stage they are in. Okay, and they were sending, because they had the data of the membership and all, they devised a campaign, right? But one thing to note is that also US is a very regulated body. Privacy is a great issue, right? So they were asked to tweak their ad campaigns because you cannot send any campaign into your personal life. So they had to tweak but the overall objective, what I'm trying to say is, they have derived an intelligence from their purchase data. They're expecting he's going to be married in this, I think he's buying all these marriage-related gifts. He's going for a holiday. So they're correlating stuff and trying to hit at the customer. Customer acquisition. It brings you closer to the customer. Target new customer. This is what? Game-changing? Absolutely. Let me talk about another area which is very, very nascent and disruptive, okay? There is I'll give you a use case where there's a cancer patient, okay? A doctor, he goes to the doctor and the doctor removes his blood and his tissue sample. He sends it to the medical center, okay? The medical center analyzes the genome sequencing and the interplay between the proteins and cells leading to the cancer tumor. They send it to the global DNA center. And from nanotechnologies, the doctor has devised a custom-made solution, medical solution, for him to be administered, plus he recovers at home using remote medicine. Game-changing? Of course. So, the next is the social analytics. Social analytics is the primarily 3 objectives, because these are all non-transactional data, not transactional, okay, in a social. So, one, I want my awareness, I want to engage, and I want to increase my word of mouth or reach. So, essentially, you will use it, like for example, there's a company, I heard of Virgin Atlantic? Yeah? Now they're Virgin America, I believe. Is that right? Okay. So what they did is they identified a group of influencers. I think Anand also showed you the network analysis, right? The influencers, how many are tweeting, retweeting, and all that stuff. Now let's look how they took it apart. So they identified 120 influencers from their social media. These 120 influencers were tagged to around 4.5 lakh people. So what they told, they were launching a new route from US to Toronto, from New York to Toronto. So what they did is they identified these 120 people and they requested them and they gave them an offer that we will give you a family pack of one round trip to Singapore paid from our side if you endorse this route. What the campaign did was it generated 7.4 million tweets, retweets, and encouragements. And they measured it also. It converted to a sale. So this is what social analytics will do. And the final thing is the decision science. Okay. I'll give you one Indian scenario wherein in marketing industry of consumer products, which is in India, which is the largest and the preferred zone for test marketing. I don't know the reason why, but there is a state and city. Can anyone guess? It's in the south. That's one more. Sorry? No. It's God's own country. Yes, Cochin. We don't know the reason why. But it's test marketing. So when anything across India, okay, they do the test marketing either in Chennai or thing, but it's better than Chennai is what they find. So this company wanted to market their mixed fruit juice. Okay, 3 months they did it, sales did not go up. They put it on social media and everything, and they came back and saying that it did not have a pineapple touch. Okay. Now when the research team researched back and did a lot of things, pineapple flavor is a hit locally. Same result they found it in Chennai, same result they found it in Delhi. So they just took a sample. Okay. So what the research team did, they increased the proportion of pineapple in the mixed fruit juice. Sales went up. That's when real-time decisions can take up. Game changing? Definitely yes. At the end of the day, folks, what I'm trying to say is a combination of these strategies are built on the business objective and the type of data you have. Not one strategy will service a customer. It will be a combination of strategies, and you'll have to link it to the business objective, and it involves doing better decisions and faster. It will predict and identify change. It will identify key imperatives for a big data strategy is sponsorship from the board, which I have mentioned to you, and one of have you heard of one of the research partners, our research partners, they have predicted that 19 the board investments in big data greater than $10 million will increase from 19% to 15% till 2016. And investments of 50 million and above only in big data will increase from 6% to 14%. And essentially, the guy who will be on the ground taking decisions will be a person from the board, will be a line of business guy. So sponsorship from the board is very, very important because they are pumping in money. And you better have a sponsorship from the board. Second, there's a mindset change to the way you look at decisions. Today, because of the data explosion, from a data limited enterprise, you're coming to a data driven enterprise. That's a huge shift. And the way you make decisions. And I started off, in the panel discussion also, IT and business alignment should merge because there shouldn't be that it be clashes there, right? Because it will fall flat. You don't put a cross-functional team. So that's why even Nishish was saying one trend you're looking is having a big data center of excellence. Another thing is going to build an ecosystem of big data professionals. You know that raising talent for big data is difficult. You all agree? Right? So it's an ecosystem. Some will be very good data scientists. Some will be on machine learning. Some text mining and analytics. Okay, some will be very good at algorithm. That's why you hire statisticians. So it's an ecosystem. And some will be technologists. Hadoop. Right? It's not only Hadoop. It's the other technologies as well. And you have to create an environment for big data friendly policies. If I want to do a customer sentiment analysis, I want to build an IP, I need to import data from social feeds. Now, if your IT policy says that you cannot get into social data when connected with the network, then that's again another thing. Also, the bring your own device is the next catching up trend, right? To reduce the thing. I'm also hearing that BYOID. It's bring your own ID. I'm not sure how they'll do it, but I'm just hearing this term. Okay? And targeted and focused investment is what is needed. I'll just touch upon, before I close, on big data 2014 and beyond. We saw the slide on big facts that there's a lot of venture capitalists coming in, acquisitions are taking place. So Market from the technology point and the business point of view, there's a lot of consolidation which will happen. In which areas? It will be in discovery, predictive analytics, text and rich media analytics. Now, and I also mentioned that analytics cannot happen in isolation. It's a combination of SMAC, right? SMAC IDC has predicted that there's going to be a $5 trillion spending by enterprises by the year 2020. So many companies, if you just look at it, the large companies, so and so, they're getting their SMAC group together under one umbrella, right? So the first wave of, the platform went out to the mainframe, the second, the PC, and now it is the SMAC. And I would just like to state that it's a tale of two devices. You access the internet through mobiles, right? You can Google here. One device is mobile, and the rest group is without the mobile. It's a tale of two devices. Chief data officers is a reality. Anand is in the right profession. You and I are in the right profession. Okay? It is going to be a reality because it's imperative that not only you have a sponsor from the board, you should have a sponsor who's technology aligned as well. Chief data officer will be a reality. The business unit leader will be the key IT decision maker. Before it was the IT head who will say that I'm going to invest in Amazon this much. Today, no, the line of business is, one research firm says that today it is at 58%. It will rise up to 80% by 2016, that the line of business will take a call on what IT investment have to make or not. Internet of Things, very, very important. Due to the invent of, why Internet of Things is so important? Because the Internet of Things data is unique. It is fast, real time. The computation requirements are complex. It interacts with your environment. More importantly, it is very, very, very critical in the security perspective. Now, with the rise of IPv6, right, there are 3.4 into 10 to the power of 38 IP addresses which you can make. I don't even know how many zeros it has. I'm told it's 340 trillion. Okay? So that's a huge, huge trend. $1.9 trillion. Markets and markets. You heard of this research firm? They predict that the Internet of Things business is going to go from 44 billion in 2011 to 290 billion. GE calls it the internet, the industrial internet. Cisco calls it the Internet of everything. Why are they telling this? They're launching, GE has a clean strategy there because they're talking the power of 1%, adding improvements in the GDP. So the next decade is the Internet of Things. Obviously it is nascent, but it is going to pick up, and also the data shows that the machine data is going to grow the fastest, and that's what they're deriving value from that. I talked about the preventive maintenance case study. Yes, it is. In oil and gas industry, in the mining industry, it's a very, very dangerous in terms of the employee safety. Use sensors when there's a gas leak. Got it? And big data security is a separate service line. The great thing about big data is all the data is at one place. The other part of it, security is a concern. So how do you secure your big data? You got to comply with the laws of the nation where your data center is. You got to comply with your customer regulations. And at the nodes of the network, you got to ensure when mergers and acquisitions, because you are talking about cloud, right? Like think of two banks merging, their data is on the cloud. They'll flip out. My customer's data is on the cloud. So security is an important thing. And I'm not touch upon it. Data visualization, you know, 1 hour we had a fantastic session from Anand. Data visualization is the one which will help you make decisions real time, not reports. Visualization is the key. Finally, focus on building big data capability. We know there's a shortage, but internally, you should think and plan for a competency development plan. And according to McKinsey, there'll be 140 to 190,000 people shortfall in the US. And 150,000 short of analysts who can interpret data. So essentially what I'm saying is, it's a huge game changer, huge opportunity. The two thing is to identify those opportunities, look at the business value proposition, and go with it. I'm really sorry, I think we're short of time, and my ID is sitaram.murthy@genpact.com. If at all any query you have, kindly mail to me. We'll take it offline. I'll share with them my numbers also. If you mail me, I will respond real time. Thank you.
Well, many thanks for the real-time presentation, Mr. Murthy, and bringing in a whole lot of insights. Well, we move over to our next topic that's going to be covered by Mr. Sanket Sarang, who's going to cover the next generation database. Mr. Sarang, can we have you here? Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. Everyone can hear me? Okay, perfect. So I'm here to talk about a very different thing. Okay, it's a whole new generation of database. This is not something of SQL that you have seen or no SQL that you have seen. It's something much beyond, which combines the two to give us capabilities in a particular domain which we don't have as of today. Okay, so let's look at this. What we have is we had the first generation of databases, which was SQL, right? In SQL systems, we use them in real time. They were taking in online transactions for us. Even today, quite a few of us, actually most of us, are still using SQL systems, right, for their production environment. Then came the need for NoSQL. Where did NoSQL come in the picture was in areas where SQL couldn't perform, right? We use SQL for live systems, while NoSQL was designed for offline processing. You have huge data that cannot, maybe unstructured data that could not be stored in relational models, right? Or sometimes even data that could be stored in relational models, but could not be processed through relational models. Why? Possibly because of the huge inflow of information that was coming in, right? Or it was just too huge to process. In that case, we built NoSQL, we put our data onto NoSQL, ran our tasks, batch jobs, at times ran our analytics on it, built reports, got insights into our business, and that's where NoSQL is helping us even today, right? What I'm here to talk about is NoQuery, okay? It's something beyond. NoQuery it's not the NoQuery generation, okay? It's the term we have given to a particular concept that we have introduced. It's not just the concept that brings in the change that we are trying to propose, but it aids us to do many things that today NoSQL cannot do. Okay? So, any guesses what NoQuery is? Any guesses? Anyone? Okay. That's actually a pretty accurate answer because that's how we started. What we did is we wrote an ORM framework for a database. ORM is object relation mapping. Everyone knows what an ORM is, right? You've used it somewhere or the other. There are several frameworks. But unlike other frameworks, our ORM doesn't take any query at all, right? Most of them have their own formats of writing queries, correct? We made sure that our ORM does not have any query format at all. But this is not what I came here to talk today. Okay, if I come here to sell you an ORM, you can literally throw tomatoes on me and throw me out of here. Okay, that's obviously not the intent. And you cannot call an ORM framework as a new generation of database. Right, that doesn't make sense at all. But why is this slide here? It's here because we got our NoQuery name from the ORM we wrote. But today we use it for a very different type of architecture. So let me go to that. Of what is more relevant is, let's have a look at this. This is a traditional architecture for any application you write, correct? You have a user. The user connects to the application by means of TCP channels, right? TCP or HTTP. HTTP is also TCP, right? And then the application connects to the database by means of connection pools, which are also TCP. Correct? Everyone is familiar with this, right? Now let me ask you a question. Has anyone written an application till date that does not require data storage? Anyone? written an application that does not require data storage? Can anyone answer it? No? Everyone is agreeing. So everyone is agreeing with me that you have always written applications that require data storage in some form or the other, right? Fine. Now let me ask the reverse question. Have you ever worked on an application development environment that has data storage capability built in? Anyone? No, I'm not raising my hand because I haven't. Any one of you have something that I may not know? No one? Then why not ask the fundamental question? Okay? If every application you build needs data storage, but every application development platform that we use does not have data storage built into it, why is it the case? Database is no good without the application is no good without the database. But yet the two are separate items. Right? Why so? Correct? So we thought this doesn't make sense at all. What we should do is we should change this completely. So we decided that we have to merge the application and the database together. Right? But at the same time, now, of course, I know I'm sure questions are coming in your minds that yes, we have database servers which are separate, application servers which are separate. There's a reason why that is there, right? So we had to keep that in mind, and we made sure that when we combine these two blocks together, we do not lose on the clustering capabilities of the database or clustering capabilities of the application. So what happens now is the way this is done, technicalities, I won't be going into the technology today, right? But to generally brief you, how it is done is it works on Java Enterprise Edition. Okay, so anyone who's writing a Java app can actually leverage this feature. And this removal of TCP channel is what we call no query, because there's no querying layer between the application and the database. Okay, there is no querying layer. Whenever you run a query meaning query can be anything. We have a querying format which is a REST format. We support SQL. Okay. All that is there. So there is a definite means of communicating with the database. Our ORM layer doesn't even